Hello everybody, how are you doing today? Today I'm changing it up a little bit and I'm just gonna go get settled out here on the porch and kind of start from the beginning. So let's see, what a beautiful day. So my name is Crispina French and I am a textile recycling artist, activist, environmentalist, influencer. I never know where to look. I think, yep, there's the camera. So today I'm doing my 27th day in a series that's 30 days long, all about creative textile recycling here on Facebook. And each day I've recorded a different episode focusing on questions that you guys have had or just inquiries about my process, how I got started, what I, how I do the things that I do. And I haven't been able to touch upon all of the questions that have come in, but it's just been so much fun to spend these last few weeks with you guys each morning at 11. And there's a few more days left. We're going to wrap things up on Tuesday. So if you want to tune in with me again live, you've got another few days to do that. And of course, if you're interested in scrolling back down through my feed, you can catch all the recordings there, so you haven't actually missed anything. But today somebody was asking me, and I did a studio tour the other day. Somebody was asking me about some of the equipment that I use to make the I'm thinking that I'm a little far away from the router, so I'm getting a little bit of like hiccuping on my feed, but I wanted to show you the front of my studio, so I'm going to try doing that, and if you lose me, I'll be right back. But here's my little flower garden. I'm walking through it. Here we go. Okay. This, oh, sorry, I'm going to try to turn the camera around. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Okay. All right, so this is my studio. There's my car. There's my studio, and I'm going to walk down this little path into past my garden. Look at that, right? Hello, bumblebees. And up these steps, and this is my door. Hello. And into my shipping room. So this is the table that we use for all the shipping. All our finished products are in here, and that's where we pack the boxes that leave here. And then this is a beautiful stone fireplace that's in the shipping room, and then the door with that cool batik on it goes into the dark room that we use for screen printing. And if this is your first time tuning in, so I'm telling you I'm a textile recycling blah blah blah, right? Actually, here, I'll show you. This is the book that I wrote, The Sweater Chop Shop, and it's a teaching book that teaches my process. And this is a book that was published about my father, who, as you can see, is a pretty well recognized Irish ceramic artist. And it's got all of our family history in it. It's, those are the ragamuffins. Those were my first product I ever made. The book about my dad is pretty cool. There's some of his work. He was kind of a trendsetter, back in the 60s and 70s, and he's been gone now since 2010. There he is. And he was like one of my best friends. Anyway, my mom and dad is a screen printing business that my sister and I run, and it's located, the print shop aspect of things is located in the same building with my textile recycling studio. So we're walking from this is the shipping room, and we're going to walk down a few steps into what is now our second print shop. We enlarged our print space due to Corona because it's a two-person process the way we do it. And we had two print stations set up in the same small room. And it was not a small room, but it was too small to have people. So it's actually worked out to be a really great change. So this is a beautiful sunny studio, and today is Saturday, so the print team is not here today, and I almost wanted to so you guys could meet but I feel like I'll have an opportunity to introduce the print team maybe on a future Facebook Live. So here are all my raw materials that are still in what used to be my sewing room, but it's hard to find room for that coat rack full of sweaters in my new space, so that's where it lives. And then I just want to, there's our kitchen, and then way over there in that corner, past those two giant drying racks filled with prints for the Dolphin Studio, is a piece of equipment called a clicker press. And this was the thing that I got a lot of questions about because it is a machine. It's about, I'm going to turn, let's see, I don't think I can turn the camera back around very easily, but it's, I can't do that either. You know, when I'm standing next to it, I'm holding this in my hand and it's about shoulder height. And this is a very strong machine that pushes these dies that I have custom made through sweaters. And you can see the heart die in my hand cut the hearts in that blanket that's hanging on the wall there. So, you know, you can get dies made in any shape, size. There's another couple of dies that I use for different things. So they're available in whatever you can dream up, and they're quite expensive. That heart die probably cost about, I don't know, $60 or $70. And so, you know, you have a die made and you use it often. So, excuse me, I'm not actually doing a lot of heart cutting right now. I just prepped a bunch of material a few weeks ago, so the clicker press is kind of on summer vacation at the moment. So there's that, and then we're going to go, there's two sets of stairs past the awesome plants that I think it's a rubber tree, was in my parents' home, and it's probably, I don't know, I could bet you it's 35, 40 years old, and it's too heavy to move outside. That pot is probably, it's bigger than a 5-gallon bucket, so I don't know how big it is, but it's large and it's heavy. So we're going to enter here into my still quite messy and disheveled sewing room. But this is where all that happens. And a lot of people were interested in learning more about the sewing equipment that I use. So I have actually I have 4 sewing machines that I use quite often. This is my workhorse, the machine I use most often. It's called a Conso. It's a 199 RB, and it has a large volume bobbin, so you don't have to wind bobbins quite as often as you would with a smaller volume bobbin. It has a bobbin winder, so it winds right as you're stitching. It's got this big, you know, it's an industrial machine. It's got a big motor underneath, and it goes really quick. I'll turn it on so you can hear what it sounds like. And actually, you know, there's nothing I like better than sewing, so I'll just kind of give you one of the things that I love about the sewing machine actually is that it sounds just like a tractor. So you ready? It's going to zigzag. So it goes quick. And that's the zigzag stitch that I get and I make my my blankets with. So that's, if you're like a committed textile recycling entrepreneur and you really want to take your practice to a level of like commercial production, I really recommend industrial machine. But if you're a home sewer and you're not ready to make that, you know, that machine costs about $2,500 new. You can find industrial machines used, and they don't really wear out, so there's no harm in buying a used machine. Over here is my $325 Janome, which is a brand of sewing machine it's a Japanese brand. This particular model is a 525S, and it's the least expensive model that Janome makes, and it's a little workhorse. It's this is the bobbin case, and you know, there's lots of plastic parts, which I'm, you know, trying to get used to. It's not, it doesn't look durable. It's very lightweight. You can kind of, it's got a little handle. You can, It says my phone is getting warm. I can't imagine that the phone's getting warm. But anyways, so if you're in the market for a machine, you don't want to spend, a couple grand or have the workspace in your home to accommodate an industrial machine, this is the machine I would recommend. And I like to buy sewing machines from people who I can talk to if I have questions. So the place that I buy from is in Western Massachusetts, Newman Sewing Machine. There's two guys there, father and son duo, and they are very knowledgeable and super helpful if you tell them what you're looking for. And they sell industrial machines as well as home machines. So those are my two favorite sewing machines, or maybe not my two favorite, but my two most used sewing machines. I have two other sewing machines that are amazing. This is one of them, which is, I think, this would be it. And she's not really set up right now, so I can't show you what she does, but that's just because I just moved my studio. But she's a Metropolitan. She's from 1929, and she does a cover stitch, which is a beautiful kind of, it was a precursor to sergers. So it was like, it has 3 threads and no bobbin. And you can see here, this is like where the threads run through. Can you see the thread here? So not a lot of safety measures on this machine, so it's a good thing that I don't have employees that I ask to use the machine any longer, because it's not safe, but it runs like a kitten, and it's just like the most beautiful thing. And can you guys see this? It's kind of a sunny spot that she's sitting in, but this is a little oil reservoir, and you can you fill it. You fill it through here. This little door. Let's see if I can get out of the sun so it's easier to see. There we go. So yeah, this is the oil reservoir on top of the machine. You fill it through this little door, and you put car oil in there because when this machine was made, they didn't have. Okay, so that's kind of a much easier way of being the typical option for for a serger. So I think I lost a bunch of you guys in that little hiccup we had with our internet, and sorry about that. The internet where I live is super shaky, and I guess my phone doesn't have quite as strong a connection as the laptop that I normally use for my lives. But I hope you've enjoyed this little tour today. If you guys have questions or ideas about future episodes, please pop them in the comments. If you tag a friend that you think might enjoy knowing more about my feed and what I do in the comments of this post or any other of my live video posts from the last 27 days, and then send me your mailing address, I will send you a signed and numbered print in the snail mail. And this is one of the prints that is made from the Dolphin Studio. So, and there's all kinds of them. We make a different one pretty much every month or so. There's another one. So they're for sale in the Dolphin Studio shop. They're $20 each. But if you comment with a friend's tag your friend in the comment, you can get one for free. Just send me your mailing address and I'll pop one in the mail to you. And the other thing that I have to tell you guys before I go that's kind of super exciting is that the Stitch Along project that you might have heard me talk about in previous episodes, or maybe you've been around long enough to actually remember when it came about. So it was in May, I think, it was in early May when we started a collaborative project all about working together and having live sewing circles on Zoom, where we actually made squares together. There was over 30 women who participated in this collaborative put together, and when they finished making these beautiful squares that are like just embellished to just amazing, beautiful, they sent all their beautiful finished work back to me, and I stitched it all together into this amazing blanket that will be sold. It's going to be auctioned, actually. I figured if we ran an auction, we could raise more money for the Elizabeth Freeman Center in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, which is my local shelter for victims of domestic violence. So it's kind of like this awesome culmination coming together. The auction goes live on Tuesday, and I'm so excited. So we're going to do the last episode of my Live at 11 series will be more about the blanket and just all about the participants who helped make it come to fruition. And we'll talk, yeah, I'll send you in the direction of the auction so we can help the people who are most vulnerable. And, you know, if you guys are prone to paying attention to that kind of need, like right now during this pandemic, the need for services for people suffering from domestic violence has really had a pretty notable uptick. So any help that we can provide and just letting people in those abusive relationships know that we're out here and we care and we're sending you our love through our hands with beautiful things that we've made to support you in your journey to a safe and beautiful life. So participate with me in the Stitch Along and just lend an ear and spread the word and let people know who might want to participate in bidding on that auction, which will be live again on Tuesday. So thanks for being here today. I hope you have a really beautiful rest of your weekend. I'll be back tomorrow morning live at 11, and I'll see you then.